Welcome to Aflac. My name is Tylen Eaton, the Regional Sales Coordinator for the Abilene-San Angelo region. Congratulations on being selected to begin the interview process with our organization. Today, what I'm going to go over with you is an overview of what it looks like in the day of the life of an Aflac benefits advisor. I do want to give you an introduction of who I am. I grew up 70 miles north of Abilene in a little bitty town of 1,000 people called Knox City, Texas. I think I had a pretty good raising out there in the country, playing sports with my friends, being able to go hunting and fishing. And, I just understand the rural community that surrounds Abilene and San Angelo really well. I got started in business early, married my wife, Clay. We have two little boys, Maverick and Copeland. They are my world. We have so much fun. They crack me up every day. They give me so much joy. I'm very, very passionate about business. I'm very passionate about helping the community and contributing and giving back to the community that's given so much to us. I love to travel. I love being able to go out and spend quality time with my family and going and seeing the world. We've been to places like Wyoming, Cancun, Cabo, Disneyland, just a lot of fun in those scenarios, and Aflac has given me a great opportunity to do that. I started a business when I was going to school at McMurray University, mainly because I was doing sports at McMurray and I didn't have a whole lot of time on my hands to get an hourly job. So I started mowing lawns, and through that process, in the beginning it was just something to do to make some money, but I began to fall in love with business. I began to fall in love with helping individuals and the stories of the people that I was working with and the help that I was able to provide. And whenever I graduated and had an opportunity to get in the job market, I found out that, what I was making as an entrepreneur was what I could get in terms of a job working 40 hours a week. And at the time, I'd only been able to give 20 or 30 hours a week to my business. And so my thought on it was, hey, I probably have a better chance of doing better financially owning my own business. So I continued to do that. I found opportunity after opportunity to advance my business, and I was just never fearful about it. I stepped into it with faith, and a lot of times it turned out great, and sometimes it didn't. But that's entrepreneurship, right? You learn through failure. Failure identifies who you are, and the level of thinking that got you to a certain place won't get you to the next place, right? It's not going to allow you to level up. And I've found that entrepreneurship has given me a platform to grow in ways that I never thought imaginable. Today, my mission is to help enough people get what they want, because I believe that's how you win in business. You are going to be paid in direct ratio with the quality and quantity of service you provide to your customer, your employer, whomever is paying you that money. And so helping enough people get what they want, I know, will exponentially grow my business. How I got to Aflac, interesting story. That business that I grew eventually did very well. In 2021, I had my construction company at the time. We did over $5 million of business that year in terms of jobs. It was very, very fun. It was a lot of work. But to get there, I made some mistakes, right? And as an entrepreneur, you're going to make mistakes. It's just going to happen, and you can't avoid it. You got to work through it. One of those mistakes ended up costing me my business. I had dealt with a project that took a year longer than it should have, and it cost me money every week, and I had to figure out my problems, and I could not solve it. I ended up going broke in November of 2022, and I had a family to support. I had to do something different. And the guy in the bottom left picture here is named Anthony Logston. He's my grandfather. He's done Aflac for 35, 40 years, been in insurance for 55 years, and has always been a spiritual father to me. And, during that period of, in between what I was doing, closing my business, trying to figure out what I was going to do next, he called me up and he said, "Bud, I've been praying for you, and the Lord's led me to tell you, I think you should get your insurance license and give Aflac a shot." You fast forward a month of me learning the business and figuring it out, I was able to scrape by, And once I figured it out, I implemented it. And I went as hard as I went in my previous business. I went at it just like that in Aflac. And within 3 months, I made $40,000. And I realized, oh my goodness, this opportunity offers the upside potential that I loved having in the construction business. I get to help people, and there's nothing that can take it away. One mistake I make will not take away all the earnings that I provided or accumulated. And that got me fired up. With Aflac, we got 3 things: credit, capital, connections. Credit being social credit. You're dealing with business owners, and I get to showcase my ability to deliver on my promises and provide value to people in the community. Capital, we have a profit share program with Aflac. It's wonderful. We have the ability to go out, do business, and reap the rewards of doing that business. And connections, I believe your network is your net worth. If you continue to grow that network and you continue to provide value, more opportunities come to you than you would have otherwise had. And so I'm going to go over what the company of Aflac does, what we market, how we market it, how we're compensated, training, all the details. You'll figure this out during this video. And the goal is for you not to say, hey, I'm ready to go to work for Aflac. The goal is to say, that resonates with what I'm looking for in a career path. And what we'll do after this is we'll set up one-on-one interviews where I get to know you to figure out if I believe you're a fit for our organization, and you can learn the good, the bad, and the ugly of what Aflac has in terms of the career with us. So let's get into the company overview. I'm not going to bore you to death with details, but I think the origination of Aflac, the story matters, right? The Amos brothers were mortgage brokers in Florida. They'd reached the top of their field, and they wanted to do something bigger with their life, probably like you and I, right? And they did some research and figured out that Columbus, Georgia was one of the only capital cities in America that did not have a headquartered insurance company there. So they moved there and started the American Family Life Insurance of Columbus. Shortly after they started their business, their father was diagnosed with cancer. And he had a bout with it. He ended up passing away. It was a very traumatic experience because they loved their dad. But some good came from the situation. They saw a need in the marketplace because of the close proximity they had with this situation. They saw the need for living benefits. And so they took on the challenge, figured out how to get it passed through, and created the very first cancer policy that ever hit the market, that paid people while they were going through cancer to help cover the out-of-pocket medical expenses, to help cover the lost income that may be had from that individual. And that absolutely blew up this business over a 15-year period, right? It exponentially grew what insurance even was at the time. And today, you've got thousands of companies that are now copying what Aflac created back in the 50s. In 1974, Aflac expanded globally and nationally. Globally into Japan. After the Cold War, Aflac was the first U.S. company allowed to do business in Japan. Today, Aflac has $110 billion in assets, and 2/3 of those assets come from Japan. Aflac is 3 times bigger in Japan than it is in the United States. And that arrangement allowed Aflac to invest money into marketing and to do some of the things that they've done to become what Aflac is today, not the American Family Life Insurance of Columbus. The Duck was born in 2000, and that has been a huge brand increase to the awareness of what Aflac is. Today, Aflac has a 95% brand recognition in the marketplace. The problem is we only do business with 5% of the population. With a 95% brand recognition, that's like Nike or Coca-Cola. I don't know you very well, but I can almost assume you've worn a set of Nikes and probably drank a Coke product. The difference is that insurance is not a retail product. Insurance has to be sold to you. And especially here in Texas, people do business with those that they know, like, and trust. And so Aflac seeks out to hire folks like me and folks like you who have a network of people who we know, who have the ability and to go create a skill set of going and building a network of people outside of those we know now, right? And that is what Aflac is about. It's about training that very skill set and teaching you how to go create a business off of the back of this brand that is so well known. Today, Aflac is a Fortune 200 company, one of the most world's admired companies, one of the most ethical companies, and one of the most civic duty minded companies in the world. We have our own cancer center there in Columbus, Georgia, where we do research and treatment on pediatric cancer. They give back to the community by covering any children. If you're a parent and you purchase a cancer policy, your kids are covered for free, and they pay double the benefits to make sure that family's protected. They practice great diversity rules. 15 years ago, the average insurance agent was a 55-year-old white male. Today, we have so much diversity in the insurance space that allows us to get this information out to communities so they're not reliant on tamale sales or barbecue sales or GoFundMe's to be able to provide for their families and take care of a loved one after they've passed away or after they've been diagnosed with a serious illness. Aflac has been there to be the response to all of these problems, right? Next, I want to discuss what we do. A lot of people, like I said a while ago, know who we are, but most don't know what we do. We are an insurance company, but we're not your typical kind of insurance, right? If you go down your main street of your town today, you'll probably pass by 20 different insurance agencies. Looking at insurance that way is kind of complex, but in reality, it falls into two buckets. You've got property and casualty, like home insurance, auto insurance. They'll insure anything you can touch. They pay someone else to protect you from a loss, like a collision center or a roofer or a window company. But you generally share in the cost through a deductible. Aflac doesn't have anything to do with property or casualty. We fall in the life and health space, right? Medical insurance is in the life and health space, like Blue Cross Blue Shield, United Healthcare, Aetna. These companies pay the doctors, facilities, hospitals, lab experts, diagnostic lab exam folks. They pay them to protect you from a loss. But you share in the cost through a deductible, through a co-insurance, co-pays, and up to a total out-of-pocket maximum. Some very specific numbers for you. Today, $3,000 is the average deductible for an individual. If you have a family covered, it's even more than that. The out-of-pocket maximum, the average out-of-pocket is $7,500. You see, I don't think medical insurance was ever designed to be what it is today, because it is very expensive to have and very expensive to use. And you see people that have to have a hospital stay. The worst of the worst occurs. They have a serious accident, illness, diagnosis, any of those things that happen, they're going to go to these facilities and it's going to cost them quite a bit of money. The trouble is 7 out of 10 Americans live paycheck to paycheck, no matter how much money we make. And so these things can derail a family financially, sometimes permanently. In fact, 66% of bankruptcies that occur every year occur due to out-of-pocket medical debt. So Aflac comes to the rescue for a lot of these folks because we pay our benefits directly to the policyholder to cover those out-of-pocket expenses, to cover a family when they've lost their income, to be there for them to help cover the everyday living expenses, your mortgage, your car payments, for utilities, groceries, being able to keep food on the table for the family. Aflac is there for so many people, and that's why I call Aflac financial protection. The true value of our product is that we offer so many, so that our costs are reasonable and affordable to every American out there, every working person out there. We've got a wide range of product offerings because we deal with so many different people, right? We work with companies primarily offering employee benefits. And so our product offerings can go to the 3-man automotive company here in Abilene, but also can be provided to the Del Rio School District that has 1,200 employees. And so the needs of each of those individuals vary so much. We have a wide range of products that we can offer them to help them in their specific situation. What's in it for the business? So the business is like having benefits because it attracts and retains employees. And if you're out there on the job market, which you are, you know that benefits are a heavy weight in your decision of who you go to work for. Aflac provides a comprehensive benefit that employers can advertise, which is huge. If you are an employer and you want to offer Blue Cross Blue Shield health insurance, right? Not Aflac. If you want to offer that health insurance as an employer, you got to pay 50% of the cost. So if that cost is $600 a month, which in many cases it is, the employer has to say, I'm paying $300 a month, and if I've got 10 employees, that's $3,000 a month of overhead that they're adding onto their cost. Many small mom and pop businesses cannot afford to do that. So when Aflac comes in, we have payment flexibility. They don't have to actually pay any fee to offer Aflac to their employees, and because our policies are so inexpensive, most on average $30 a month, the employees are more than willing to buy it themselves through a payroll deduction process. Our benefits are easy to use and manage because of us. We are the hands, feet, eyes, and ears of the insurance company. The level of service we deliver to our customers is how they see the brand of Aflac, right? We control the experience they have, and it's super important to deliver top quality service to the people that trusted you and are putting food on your table. The business also gets advantages of they can control their costs. They have employee interest because 9 out of 10 employees today say the need of supplemental insurance is rising. And it helps businesses stay competitive with the big corporations that can't afford to offer these full suites of benefits. Let's talk about what's in it for the employee, the value of the employee. At Aflac, we can do direct products to people off the street that want to come in and get an accidental plan. But it's more expensive for them than it is for an employee getting their Aflac through a business, because they get group rates through the business, 20 to 40% discounts. And most of our plans have different levels so that we can provide relevant and affordable benefits to an employee making $15 an hour, but also provide relevant and capable benefits to help someone making $300,000 a year. It's got to be that way. Now, until you talk about the product, most employee benefits out there when you go to work for a company are not portable. You can't take them with you when you leave the job. But with Aflac, they are. We allow employees to take our policies with them at the same rate and same benefits, and they can just transfer it over to a bank draft. Here's why. We want their benefit dollars that they're investing in to go with them at the time where they need it the most, especially if it's for retirement, right? When we retire, what does it look like when you're 65 years old and you have to go find new insurance? It's likely very expensive because of underwriting and actuaries and so forth. We can help people maintain their insurance costs through the time where they need it the most. Let's talk about market potential. So in Texas, there's 29 million people that live here, and that's growing. 13 plus million people are employed in Texas, and the median household income is about 76 grand. We currently have about 1.78 million businesses in Texas. Let's talk about Aflac participation. In just our market, we have 12,500 accounts. That's less than a 1% participation. Less than 1%. Now, why does Aflac want to hire folks like me and you? Because we can go out and build relationships with those people, get them to like us, know us, and trust us, and place Aflac as a benefit for those companies. But we all have a capacity. I have a capacity of how much I can do. I can only manage a certain amount of relationships, and so can you. And so Aflac being a growth company, it's designed to bring folks in to show them how this is done. And that is the purpose of our business. As a leader in Aflac, my business is showing you how to run your business effectively and consistently so that you can produce and capture market share in the market. We are looking for the best. Now, I'll tell you, there's room in Aflac for part-time people. We've got single mothers that work with Aflac and make a living remotely. But what I need today, because of the aggressive growth mode that we're in, is I need some running mates. I need people with a strong why and goals to back it up, reasons to do well. I need people that possess self-accountability, because if you blame someone else for your results, the power to change it is no longer in your hands. I've got to have people that are self-accountable, that are willing to grow, willing to change, willing to get better. I've got to have disciplined, good time management people, because time management is how we control our results. It's how we control our calendar. We've got to be on time, we've got to deliver on our promises, and it takes extreme discipline to be able to do that consistently. You've got to have fulfillment in serving others, because otherwise you won't deliver the service that's needed to be great in this business. We have to file claims. We have to provide a VIP experience, and the only way you can do that is to have a servant's heart. You've got to have a strong will and a great attitude. Can I tell you that 2% of sales are made on the first visit? 3% of sales are made on the second visit. 4% of sales are made on the third. 5% of sales made on the fourth. The majority of sales that are made on the 5th to 15th approach. I've got one client with 360 employees that I've personally prospected for 2 years and just now got them to do business with us. You've got to maintain a positive attitude in the sales cycle so that you're able to do the things that are necessary to move the needle in those specific relationships. Primarily, we focus on the smaller companies because there's less competition and a shorter sales cycle. In order to be great in any business, you have to be obsessed, driven, and passionate about where you're going in life. Because there's going to be obstacles that stand up in your way that people that aren't obsessed, driven, and passionate would quit for. You've got to have integrity and honesty and commitment, because insurance is a place where fraud is a realistic thing. And we have to have the most integrity, honest people working for us so that we can avoid investigations and distractions of us running and managing our business. And you've got to be willing to go the extra mile. If you've worked somewhere in the past, I'm sure you worked right along someone doing the same job, working twice as hard, getting paid the same. You see, at Aflac, we control what we make by what we do. And if we go the extra mile for our clients, we will get more from that opportunity, because this business is a reaping and sowing business. The more you sow, the more you reap. Let's talk about training provided by Aflac. So the training we provide at worldwide headquarters is second to none. Aflac invests millions of dollars into these trainings through Academy Connect, through virtual training, through Aflac On Demand, which is like Aflac YouTube. I've personally spent countless hours in these resources helping advance my knowledge of the business. We also provide training from our market directing staff in Lubbock. We've got a dedicated market trainer, Adam Bradshaw, who's one of the best guys I know. He has spent countless hours on the phone with me as a new associate and helped me grow and get to the position that I'm in today. And we also have a sales school that all of our new associates go to learn the business well and be prepared to advance and grow. From the regional office, my office, I'm in charge of onboarding and orienting you into the business, and I provide ongoing training and support through Monday morning meetings, through Friday follow-ups, through frequent touch points. I am your mentor in this business to help you and show you how this is done. And then your district sales coordinator is your hands-on trainer. They walk in the field with you. They pull doors open for you, and they model conversation for you so that you're not having to go out there and figure it out all by yourself. It's not sink or swim. We are going to walk you through this process to show you how to run your business well. With Aflac, you can achieve your goals. Once you've been onboarded and you've got your initial training courses done, you enter into a 13-week training process. The first 4 weeks are simply about discipline and accountability and getting consistent activity going in your day-to-day operation. It's getting you comfortable walking into a business and saying hello. It's getting you knowledgeable in how to advance a lead to set an appointment. The next 4 weeks are about running the appointment, how to close the account, how to be able to figure out what the pain points are and provide value to that business owner that allows us to do business with them. And the final 5 weeks is about learning all of the enrollment, all of the post-enrollment, the service cycle. Your training does not end there after the 13 weeks. In fact, you'll stay in the district's office or in my regional office through your career with Aflac. What we want to do is provide you provide resources to you so you can continue to focus on growing your book of business, taking care of your customers, and not dealing with the day-to-day business operations outside of your control. I believe the biggest differentiation that Aflac provides is the mentorship when it comes to any kind of franchise model, right? If I want to go start a Chick-fil-A, I've got to spend 20 grand and go through many different training procedures, and then I'm still paying all the cost out of my percentage of the business. Aflac does not operate that way. You get access to a brand that's widely known, and there's very, very little investment cost on your end. You get all the help from the regional staff because that's what we do. We want to make sure that you have every tool, every resource, everything that you need to have to be able to go run your business well. You've got opportunities of sales leadership. If advancement is proof, I'm proof of it. I've only been doing this two and a half years now, and I've reached the highest level of 1099 in this business, which I'm told is unheard of. Most people that become a regional sales coordinator have been with Aflac for 10 or more years. I think it's a testament to the mentors that I've had that prepared me for the opportunities, but it's also a testament to when you're willing to not give up, when you're willing to give everything you've got and go all in on an opportunity, great things happen. Great things happen. It's guaranteed. It's, remember, sowing and reaping. The more you sow, the more you will reap. And promotions do not happen because of a relationship. Nepotism is not a part of our business. Our business is based on merit, what you do and how consistently you do it. As an Aflac associate, your day-to-day operation looks like this. You will spend 80% of your time prospecting for new accounts in the beginning. The goal is to discover things about these decision makers to help provide value to them where they need it the most. After an account is set up, what we go do is we set up a group presentation with the employees. We give a presentation of what our products look like. Then we sit down one-on-one with each employee and we discover their needs. Our job is not to sell, it's to educate, right? And through the education process, what we want to do is identify areas of risk and areas of need. And if they like it, need it, and can afford it, we'll do it for them, right? The worst thing is we just want to make sure that they don't miss out on an opportunity to have protection from something that could happen in the future, right? Can they afford not to have it if something were to happen? That's the big question. And if they can, we're in good shape. But if they can't, we want to make sure they're well educated to know that this resource is available to them. And then it's about the service. Again, post-enrollment, quarterly service visits, the renewal meeting, being there, making sure that the employees have every opportunity to use their Aflac to their best interest and best needs. Now, we're going to go into income. I always preface income by saying, when I think about commission-only sales, I think about real estate and car sales. Because no matter how long I've been there, I've got to go duplicate a transaction in order to make money from that opportunity. Same way in my construction business. I had to go bid jobs in order to make money no matter how long I was doing it. With Aflac, that's not the case, and I'll show you how. We do have a first-year commission, the profit share that I was speaking of. Whenever we sell a policy, we get a percentage of that policy paid to us through a commission. The commission rates go from 33 to 68%, depending on the product. We also have a first-year cash bonus as an agent. You get $13,700 in bonus opportunities in your first 52 weeks with Aflac. You have a new agent referral bonus and then trip incentives. Like this year, the trip is to Hawaii. Some of our agents just got back from Orlando. Next year, I think the trip may end up being Cancun, Cabo. You never know. I know the national convention trip is going to be in San Diego. And so they announce these things. The trips are really fun. They're cool, but they're not. That's just window dressing of what we do. In addition to that, we have cash contests. Trent from Tennessee won $100,000 in the cash contest for writing $100,000 in business in September. They do these things at headquarters all the time. The future income and what sold me on this opportunity. Remember, I've been in business for 10 years now. The reason I love this opportunity is because of the residual income piece. Everything that I do in year one, I'm still going to get paid on in year two. Everything I do in year two is now compounding to grow in my residual income in year three. So every year that I do well in Aflac, I'm growing my mailbox money, if you will, the renewals. You get 5 to 12% in renewals on the policies that you sell that stay on the books. You also have a stock bonus. On the 13th month of every policy, at the life of that policy, when that policy is paid on, you get a 3.5% stock bonus into Aflac. And if you look at the financial strength that Aflac has, you're talking AM Best, Moody's, all rate Aflac is an A+ rating in terms of their financial strength. And that stock is looking really well. You have an equity partnership with Aflac. For every policy you sell, it's going into that stock account through Broadridge. And then we have long-term incentives like President's Club, Honors Club. These things are designed to help give you more commission, put more in your pocket, give you more opportunities to excel in the business. The new agent bonus simply looks like this. The targets are $120,000 in sales and 15 new accounts. You have set times to accomplish each milestone. But to me, I'm just being honest with you, this is a minimum. If you're not writing more than $120,000 in business, you're barely making $35,000 to $40,000 a year. You have an opportunity to make six figures your first year in Aflac. If you're not going out and treating that as a serious endeavor, it's probably not the right thing for you anyway. But these bonuses are realistic. I achieved all of my bonuses. I've got several agents that work for me now that have achieved all of their bonuses. I do want to show you what it looks like in terms of how we transact in business. So let's say we got Fix It Auto Group, a new account with 36 employees. After the group presentation and the one-on-one visits with each employee, 18 of the 36 decided to purchase an Aflac policy through payroll deduction at approximately $600 in annual premium. Now, when we're talking to the employees, that's equivalent to $24 a paycheck. And that's how we position our products, is per paycheck deductions. We talk AP because that's how we get paid. So on this account, you got $10,800 in AP, annual premium. We're going to base it off the lowest level commission on the product because I'm fixing to show you annual, and I don't want you to have the numbers skewed in your brain, okay? So 33% commission, $3,564 in upfront in total earned commission. We pay 63% of that, which is basically 9 months upfront, which is $2,245. That's paid to you in the first 48 hours following the sale of that product. The remaining $1,319 is paid as earned. So on each invoice over the next 11 months, you're going to get a split of roughly $130 on each month for the sales that you made there. If you were to go out and open 15 new accounts at the same size in your first year with Aflac, you're looking at $53,460 in revenue, money you made. If you opened up 20 new accounts, you're looking at $71K. And if you did 24 new accounts, you're looking at $85,000. I want to give you just a simple 5-year example of how an Aflac representative can grow their income. So if you look at year one, you've got $162,000 in sales. You've got the $53,000 in commission. You do not get renewals or stock because you're still in your first year. With your bonus opportunity, you're looking at a $67,000 income. In year two, you're going to do more business because now you have a book of business you can go back to write new employees, to add existing clients, new policies, but also you get referrals and you've gotten better at prospecting, right? So $66,000 in commissions, and now here's where the renewals start to show up. This mailbox money. You've got $4,860 coming there, $2,916 in stock. You've got $73,000 there in total income, plus your bonus opportunity. And as you advance in your career, you become a veteran. Veterans have access to the VIP bonus program. In The average bonus in 2024 was $21,000 for the VIP bonus. If you step into leadership, if you possess those qualities, there's even bigger bonus opportunities. But after 5 years, I have a path here that you can do $124,000 in income. And if you think $300,000 in sales is non-realistic, I'm telling you, my first year in Aflac, I did $428,000 in sales as a new agent that knew nothing going into this and had very few business relationships in the local community that I could do business with. So I'm telling you, it's a realistic opportunity, and I know how to do it. One of the things that I think Aflac has provided me that even my old business couldn't provide is the flexibility. You see, I had to chase jobs in my construction business. I had to be in Dallas, Midland, all over the place, and I needed to be there consistently to be able to run these projects, because my great-grandfather told me at a young age, there's no better footprints on a project than the footprints of the owner, and you got to be there. And that's the way I ran my business. It's also the way I run my operation here at Aflac. But I'm home every night. I don't miss important things with my kids. I'm where I need to be because I work to live. I don't live to work. And it's the family and the people that you care about that are most important to you in your life. We judge our timelines on activity and results. If our activity is done, nobody's going to tell you you can't leave early. Nobody's going to tell you you can't take Friday evening off to go catch that football game of your son's. And nobody's going to tell you you can't go on vacation. Because at the end of the day, we work to live, and this is what's most important, our family and the people we care about most. In order to get licensed and contracted with Aflac, you do have to have an insurance license. I told you it doesn't cost anything to join Aflac, but there is a cost to get an insurance license. You've got to do a study guide to study for the test. You got to do your fingerprints. You've got to schedule your exam, and you've got to apply for your license once you've passed your exam. The total investment, and none of it comes to Aflac, is about $186. Now, if you have any questions about this opportunity, please email them to me here. You are going to receive a pre-interview questionnaire. If you do not mind, please fill that out. At the very end of that questionnaire, there is a question. Why do you believe you would be a great fit for this career in our award-winning organization? Here's the deal. After watching this, I do not believe you should know for a fact that this is what you want to do or need to do. And I don't know you, and so I don't know if you're going to be a fit for this. We need to set up an in-person interview where I get to know you and you get to know us. And if this resonates with you, if it falls in line with, man, what he was talking about really got me excited, please answer the questions and send in the response. At the end of the day, we are looking for the best. I would not be doing this if I didn't think this was the best vehicle for me to be in to advance and grow in my business. I believe that more people need to know about Aflac. The family in Merkel that signed up for the cancer policy in November that have been paid $53,000 this year, who had lost her job and all kinds of difficulties that she's gone through this year, while also dealing with her husband going through cancer, that $53,000 radically changed their situation. And whenever the last payment was paid, I called her up and she's weeping on the phone. That's why I do what I do. That's why we do what we do, is because we're truly impacting working families in the biggest way possible, helping what's most important, protecting what's most important, their income, their savings, and their ability to provide for their families. That's what we do at Aflac. And if that aligns with what you're looking for, if you're a fit for it, I'm going to give you a shot. I'm going to give you an opportunity to have a limitless vehicle to go run at, to build your brand, to build your business, to do the things you need to do. And for me, I won't be doing anything else. If you're a right fit for this, you'll probably feel the same way once you've got started in the business and you paid your first claim and you truly impacted someone's life the way that we have. I appreciate your time. God bless you, and I look forward to talking with you.